right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on in to NorCal Sports Network, where the Giants get it done Friday night, 6-3 over the Rockies. We welcome in Lou to the show. And Friday night here, Giants 79-81 on the season, 2 games to go. And the Rockies are just a bad team. So we'll get into this game, break it all down for you, talk about the Willie Mack Award winner, talk about what's going on around the rest of baseball. You can see the hats behind me. They're in the order. I fixed them all up here today in the standings. So before we get into this, let us thank our sponsor of the show, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. Make sure you give Chapman Law Group a call. 415-613-9483 for all your legal needs. Chapman Law Group. Make sure if you got a personal injury situation, you don't settle with that insurance company without giving Chapman Law Group a call. If not, you're going to be leaving thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. 415-613-9483. Well, Lou, season's winding down. It's that time of the year where you're just kind of playing out the string. I'm kind of checking out some other games of more importance. Going back and forth, putting the Giants game on the little screen while I'm watching the more important games on the big screen. Yeah, the A's hat, Kyle. It's sitting here on my desk. The sticky thing that goes up against the wall fell off, and I can't find replacements, so I got to get one. It's right here. Goes right there. I see it. Yeah, good catch. Lou, I don't know, 81 wins or 79 wins. I guess you can hedge now. I'm right there too. I don't know.
Dan, I'll be right up front. I watched 6 innings of this. I didn't even see the last 4 because I was watching the college football game.
Yeah,
I tried to watch the first 4 innings, and I know Colorado's bad, but this game had no flow. It was sort of boring. It put me to sleep, and it made me say, I'm glad I sold these tickets and didn't go out to the game.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? It's, this is what happens the last series. And, I'm glad next year, at least you have the Dodgers in the final series, because seeing the Giants against Colorado, I mean, it's, to tell you the truth, what they should do, they should leave these tickets half price, or maybe let people in free, because why should people pay for this?
Yeah, I wouldn't pay for it. I had a flight, Lou, as you know. I was coming up tomorrow for a get-together at Red Java House, and was going to fly up tomorrow morning, fly back tomorrow night. And it's like, why do I want to go to a meaningless game and pay for it? It
was brutal. I mean, I'm glad I got my alumni tomorrow. It sort of saved everything, but it just, when the games don't mean anything, it's almost worse than preseason football and spring training combined. You watch a little of it because, hey, you wanted to see the Willie Mack, but they had 2 good college football games on, and that was sort of my priority.
Yeah. That's $2 beer night. Yeah, that'll bring more people in.
That's
not a
good
bad.
thinking.
Yeah, or dollar hot dog night, as many as you can eat. You know, like, do
Yeah, I mean,
something.
they should do something the final week. I know tonight's special and maybe Sunday, but like Saturday's game, whatever tickets you have, you got to do something because, we'll see tomorrow how many people actually show up. It's a day game. It's one of the biggest college things. You got the Ryder Cup. You got a lot of stuff. I mean, nobody's talking about the Giants. More people are talking about Purdy on Sunday playing, so it's going to be very interesting to see how empty it is tomorrow. Because, I mean, the game is completely useless and it's not like they're giving anything away. So it'll be interesting tomorrow where even though they might say, 40,000, I think the place will be lucky to be half full.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, if you guys missed my video, I put a video out today on Logan Webb. He's actually had a pretty good statistical year when you look at it. He leads the league in quality starts. He's going to lead the National League after Sunday. He's going to win the most strikeouts in the league. He's going to have the most innings pitched if he goes 4 innings and beat out Garrett Crochet for the most innings in the baseball. And he, this is his most strikeouts of his career and highest K rate since 2021 when he matched it at 9.6 per start. So check out that video. In that video, guys, I want to talk about it. I talked about the Willie Adames. I keep calling it the Willie Adames, the Willie Mack Award. Getting it. I know why I'm getting it mixed up. Willie Mack, Willie Adames, both named Willie. The Willie Mack Award went to Willie Adames, and I think the team is really overlooking Logan Webb. And here's why I think, Lou. Willie, last year they gave it to Chapman. First year at the team. He gets it. This year, Willie Adames comes in. He gets it. Logan Webb has gone through all the garbage that this franchise has had. He's had to endure like 4 crappy seasons. The 2018-19, I think he came up in 2019. He had to endure 19 and 20. He's had to endure the Farhan era. He had to endure Gabe Kapler. And he's been kind of the leader of a team. Yeah, Flores got it. I'm not sure when Flores got it, if it was his first year or I'll have to look at I'll pull up the number, the years these guys won it. But why are you overlooking Logan Webb year after year after year for an award that supposedly meaning the most inspirational? Does that mean he's the most just because? Why is Willie the most inspirational? Because he's gets excited for everybody. He strikes out with runners in scoring position. I mean, I don't know. I just think a homegrown player versus a guy that you bring into the organization. What are you afraid he's going to want out of the organization after 1 year? So you give it to 2 guys in a row that have been here for the 1 year? I don't know. What happens if Webb has a arm injury and misses the entire, let's say he misses half of next year and all of the year after because just my thought. I don't know.
No, I thought the award was who made a difference on the team and who's the most inspirational. So when you look out after the season, and I know we'll talk more about it on the hot corner, but to me, when you think about it, I thought Adames was a wreck. He was maybe good 1 quarter of the season. He came in with a high ceiling. I don't think he was that good after all. I thought he played average defense at all. I think he was a letdown. This guy came in with such a high ceiling, and you ask people, who was your biggest problem this year? Chapman, Adames. He wasn't the most inspirational. He wasn't the most inspirational all season. I hear you. Let's just see what it is, the base.
Yeah. The Willie Mack Award is given to the most inspirational player on the San Francisco Giants. Is voted on by the players, coaches, trainers, clubhouse staff, and fans. The award honors Hall of Famer Willie McCovey and recognizes players for their competitive spirit, ability, and leadership both on and off the field. Key aspects of the award: the most inspirational player on the Giants. Basis for the award is based on the player's ability, determination, and inspirational qualities, encompassing spirit, leadership, and effort, according to MLB.com and Baseball Almanac. It's considered one of the most special and prestigious honors a Giants player can receive, recognizing leadership and positive contributions. I mean, isn't this like Logan Webb is, the guy's been there, has his first kid in the off season. He grinds. He pitches 200 innings for the third consecutive year. I don't know. To me, Willie Adames was like you said, Lou, one of the biggest disappointments the first 3 months of the first half of the season. My goodness, you could have found Brett Wisely to do a better job.
Yeah, and I think maybe this award has sort of been since Willie's passed away. I mean, I'm just looking at the winners. So let's just look at the winners since 2015 to now.
Yeah, there we go. I'll pull that up for you as well while you
So when I see the thing of the award, the first year was Matt Duffy. Okay, was Matt Duffy inspirational? No, all I remember is he was young and at times he did a good job. Then we had Lopez and Crawford. Now, I don't know how you could say Lopez did anything, because to me, I thought it's more on the offense. I don't know how a pitcher would get that, someone because he never batted back then. All right. Then you got Nick Hundley. He was here, but he didn't really do anything.
Yeah, how long was he here for?
He was here 1 year.
1 or 2 years, I think. Yeah.
Right. And then you got Will Smith.
Right.
He wasn't. He had like a half a good year. And then you go to Kevin Pillar. Come on, Pillar. And then you have Yaz. Then you have Wade. Then you get Flores. Then you got Estrada. And then you got Chapman. I think this award has been tarnished. It used to be great. If you saw tonight in the suite, they only had like 8 previous winners.
Let's go back back to look at the winners that really meant something. It seems like
exactly.
JT Snow, his first year, a Giant, but Jeff Kent, great year in his second year.
Yeah,
it seems like they give it to guys that just arrive. Ellis Burks, is this like trying to keep these guys here? What? Mark Gardner, Santiago, Bell, Grissom, JT Snow. I noticed Bonds was not on here, was he? Nope. I guess Bonds did not get it. He wasn't the most inspirational guy. Snow won it again in 2004. Get this ad out of here. Gosh. Okay. Mike Matheny, Omar Vizquel, Benji Molina.
Now, Matheny that year they're talking about, that's when he had the concussion. So he was still inspirational. This award has gotten so tarnished.
Okay, Posey and Pence, those guys, those were inspirational guys. Posey comes back player of the year or comeback player of the year, MVP in 2012.
Yeah, but that was probably when he came back in 2012. He won the award on opening day coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From the injury. So
we went through the rest. I don't get the to me.
So you thought it was Logan Webb. When I saw Marty Lure the other day, I asked him, and he without a doubt said it's Adames. And I go, why do you think he gets the award? He goes, he deserved it. And I go, okay, explain to me why he deserves it. I thought he's been a wreck this year. He's been a huge disappointment. He goes, no, he's always inspirational. I go, are you kidding me? I go, he's been a wreck. He goes, well, who do you think should have it? And I said, well, I know a lot of guys think Webb should have it. I go, when you think of the Giants this year, there were 2 big, nobody really talks about win and losses, but the 2 most probably biggest points of the season, I thought, was Bailey. Everyone was down on him, but he had the inside the park homer, which was huge. He had the grand slam against the Dodgers, which was huge. Everyone loves him, even though his offense is there, because how great he frames. And he goes, oh, well, maybe in a couple of years. So I think, I mean, you bring up a great point. Chapman last year, he played 1 year. And all of us know that we didn't even want Chapman back. Now we give it to Adames. So I think this thing has sort of been tarnished. The other thing is, why don't the fans vote? Why is it the players, coaches, and the staff?
Yeah, I don't know. Fans, look, in the World Series years, Andres Torres won it, Seniors Asking in 2010, Buster in 12, and Mad Bum in 14. Those are 3 great winners.
Yep.
I just look, I like Logan Webb. Just because I've said I think the Giants should consider trading him to get value for him doesn't mean I don't like him. But I think this was a great year to give it to Webb. Because, look, he's going to lead the league in strikeouts. He's going to lead all of baseball, National League in strikeouts. He's going to lead all of baseball in innings pitched. It's the 3rd straight year he's pitched over 200 innings. He's had to endure all of the crap of Farhan and Kapler, and now he's going through another rough stretch of a team, and he's the definition of kind of the guy that's he just keeps showing up and doing his job, and he is been also he's the longest tenured Giant in the organization.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything anymore. That doesn't mean anything anymore. Why are you
giving it to a guy who just showed up, and had he been hitting like he hit a little bit better in, July and August for a while, and then had he showed up for more than 2 months of the season, maybe the Giants are actually in the wild card. You're talking like 3-4 games. I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
I don't understand where is loyalty come into play? I mean, Webb's was a early, he was drafted in like 2013, 14, something like that. He was drafted, and then I just think people like Willie Adames because he's probably coming around the clubhouse, dapping up every player. Hey, how you doing? Hey, all that. And guys just, oh man, he's really inspirational. Well, I don't know. There's something to be said to me for a guy who's consistent. And we've got on Webb on this show and said maybe he's not the ace that comes through all the time when it's super important games. But, he pitched a great game down in LA when the Giants needed him to, and they didn't show up, the Giants bats. But I just think there's plenty of time for Adames to get the award. Why do you have to give it the first year?
All right. Well, here's my question. Adames batting, what's his average? Like 240 something. Here's what I don't like. Yeah, he's got the 29 homers, 86 RBIs, but 180 strikeouts. Okay. 180 strikeouts. So that means so many times where we needed him, he didn't come through. 180 strikeouts for a guy that bats usually 3rd, 4th, or 5th is outrageous, and this is a guy, the highest paid Giant. I don't care if he's a cheerleader. We need him to perform on the field. And, everybody in the chat, most of the time when you bring up Webb, oh, he's the best we have with the best we have. Well, then you got to, give him something. I just thought, he did deserve it. He's the highest paid Giant.
I don't think so. The guy, and you know what? Hiroku makes a great point. Who had an incredibly inspiring year last year who came out of nowhere, who the Giants wanted to release, and he made the All-Star team. How about Elliot Ramos last year? Another homegrown guy. What is it? Let's look at this list here again. Let's pull up this list and look at the last several winners, and they didn't come up as Giants.
No.
Okay. 2015 Duffy, he was a Giant. Crawford, Giant. Javi, not a Giant. Hundley, not a Giant. Will Smith, not a Giant. Kevin Pillar, not a Giant. Mike Yastrzemski, not a Giant. Wade, not a Giant. Flores, not a Giant. Estrada, not a Giant. Chapman, not a Giant. And Willie Adames, not a Giant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The last 9 years, no original Giant as far as being drafted and developed by the team. Why do we give these awards to guys? I mean, look what Elliot Ramos had to endure for all these years of getting jerked around, and then he comes up, makes the All-Star team, and was definitely the club's best player last year. To me, that's pretty inspiring. A guy that was basically left for nothing.
For dead, yeah. He came up with the last week of
May.
April or May.
April,
yeah.
May,
Yeah.
April or May. I think it was somewhere early May, maybe. I can't remember. But he led the team with all kinds of different
That's what I'm
things.
saying. That the award has been tarnished. It doesn't mean as much as it used to be. And then when I saw the suite tonight, and they only had 8 previous winners, just tells you right there.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Well, there's probably some are starting to, I don't know if any of them are dying off, but a lot of them are just probably I don't know. Aaron, yeah, the award seems to be less about actual on-field production, but rather intangibles and who's a good clubhouse guy. Yeah, and I think Webb's a really good clubhouse guy. Ramos definitely is. I don't think there's – watch next year. You know who – I'm going to predict the winner next year. Rafi Devers will win it next year. Watch. He's going to be probably a little bit of they're going to say, we got to make Rafi feel really welcome here. You watch. Rafi Devers, your
how about make fans feel welcome and give us a team that's over 500?
Next year will be Brandon Donovan. Yeah, if they sign him. Yeah. And we welcome in Dallas to the show. We've been discussing, I don't know if you've heard us, but we've been going on for the last 10 minutes. A little minor.
I heard every word.
Minor rant. I think Logan Webb keeps getting robbed. At what point does he earn it? What point does he get a Willie a Mac award?
I think he does get one at some point. I think he deserves one. It's just when you're playing every 5th day, I think maybe that takes away some of your votes because
Bumgardner got it. Vogelsong got it.
Kruko got it twice, right?
Yeah, Kruko.
Yeah, twice.
Matt Cain got it.
I just think it's a homer
Mark
award now.
Gardner.
It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Mark Leiter got it one year. Steve Bedrosian got it. Dave Dravecki, which was obvious in 1989. He barely played that year, but he was obvious. I just think, I don't know. I'm looking at Webb. You know, guy has a kid in the off season, which is not easy to keep your focus on your job. He's going to lead the league in the entire major leagues in innings pitched. He's going to lead the National League in strikeouts for the first time. He leads the league in quality starts, all of baseball. What do you want from a guy that is a good clubhouse guy, is likable? He may not be the rah-rah guy. He's kind of quiet, but so do you have to like be like Chapman and give the speech? You know, you're the speech guy. We're going to make the playoffs. Trust us. We're going to sign guys. listen, I've been getting calls and we're talking, we'll be back next year and we will definitely be making the playoffs. You got to be that, or you got to be Willie Adames. It runs after every guy that hits a home run and is just clapping up the thing. Is that what the award is now? Just or is it guys that actually go through some adversity? I mean, you're talking about a team that doesn't have a lot to root for, and Logan Webb's been the one constant in the organization. Longest tenured San Francisco Giant, grew up in the organization, and they just overlook him.
Yeah. Well, maybe he'll get a shot sometime. I mean, everyone kind of thought that Adames was a lock because he's the leader of the clubhouse. He's going to hit 30 home runs tomorrow, and with any luck,
he's going to end up with 29.
And he did go. He had some adversity. He had a terrible slump this season. He was terrible for the first half of the year, and but he's remained positive, and he never, he showed up and worked his butt off every single day, and then persevered through that. So I don't have a problem with it, especially since it's mainly the organization that's voting for it.
Yeah, Senior, it's not just the players, it's the clubhouse, it's the personnel, right. All the clubhouse personnel. We pulled it up earlier. I can't remember. Who else was it, Lou?
Because if it was the fans that would vote for it, you know who would be the winner?
Jung-hoo
Lee.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and I don't think Jung-hoo Lee's had a good enough season to warrant it. So,
and only one rookie's ever won it, so usually you got to get a veteran. But yeah.
Jay Case. Yeah, look, I'm not discounting Willie Adames as non-deserving. I just think at some point you have to look at a guy who's been consistent and has had to deal with more crap in the organization than anybody, and he still goes out there and puts up numbers, does his job. What do you guys think of this comment? Do you think some players could be NorCal Sports Talk Live said maybe some players don't appreciate him being hung over and pitching in the All-Star game last year? Like they didn't took it lightly and just.
I think
half the team wasn't even on the team last year.
I think they don't care about that.
Yeah, probably not. So, I mean, okay, Adames 177 strikeouts, Rafi 190. So why slam him? Oh, I think we were just, you can throw Chapman in there too. Yeah, he's just saying he has no better explanation. Look, no, Webb's epic, not an alcohol. Somebody told him to go enjoy the experience and make sure you get all of it in. So he went to all of the different parties the night before and hey, look, he was young and doing it, enjoying the game, enjoying the experience. But, to me, it is what it is. Let me turn my air down in here. I'm getting a little warm. Okay. Let's get back to tonight's game, and then we got a couple games to go in the season, and then we can put this season to bed. Started off early tonight. Willie Adames, the Willie Mack Award winner, comes up in the first inning and hits a ball just fair inside the left field foul pole to make it a 2-0 game. And then Ramos homers to deep left center. He got all of it, 439. 3-run homer. Lee and McRae scored. Tovar for Colorado scored in the fifth to make it 5-3. And then Eldridge sacrifice fly, scoring Willie Adames, was the end of the scoring, 6-3. I thought Trevor McDonald pitched really well. That's a couple of pretty good
starts in a row.
outings.
Yep.
He went 7 innings, only 89 pitches, so very efficient. He gave up the 3-run homer, but he had 10 strikeouts. And I'm not seeing here in the box score, my particular box score for some reason is not showing base on balls. Did he walk anybody?
He walked nobody.
Okay. Yeah. So there you go. No walks. Maybe, this is the type of guy that fits in to where you need to stack up a lot of arms to be in your arsenal for when injuries come around. Guys like him and Birdsong and maybe this kid they got from the Mets in the trade. Why do I always forget his name? Tidwell. I don't know much about him as far as, maybe he's a guy. But you got to have 10 guys, okay? You got to have 10 starters, 5 rotation guys that are your opening day, 5, and you got to have 5 guys. And you know what? Maybe what the Giants need to do this year is go sign a bunch of free agent starting pitchers, and whoever wins the jobs are the starters, and whoever doesn't win are in the bullpen. And just start getting good guys in your bullpen. I think you're going to have a 12-man to 13-man staff. Half of it needs to be replaced.
Hey, Dan, I think the Giants next year, this is something I've been thinking because this is what Cleveland did. They went to 6-man rotation.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the new thing next year. I mean, the Dodgers have done it. I think that's what the Giants are seeing. The other thing is you need guys like McDonald that can be long relief. They're there if you need them, but, a lot of these Giants pitchers always have problems second, third inning. You can't get out of it. You got to have a guy that can give you 6 innings after that. I mean, we really haven't had that one since the guy that left us to become the Oakland A's, a real long reliever, good 5
yes,
innings.
Petit?
Yeah, Petit, and I think, we need that. But again, it's a lot easier when there's no pressure. I mean, he's done it twice. So I like McDonald, but I don't see him as a man in the starting 5 rotation. I think, he'd be like, 7th or 8th and an emergency guy. But, when there's no pressure, you got to have a guy that can do it during pressure situations, and I think,
But let him compete for it. Let him come to spring training and try and get that 5th spot. You want these guys to try and say, you know what, I'm going to assert my dominance. I'm going to take that spot. And
yeah, they need to go get a guy like Ranger Suarez or something, but don't go spend a ton of money on giving a starting pitcher over 30, more than 3 years on a contract. If somebody says, "Oh, I need 5," see ya. We don't need that. And the Giants years ago went for Mark Melancon, paid him a ton of money. We know how that worked out. Maybe the answer isn't going out and getting the top bullpen guy, although maybe you can get a guy on a 1-year deal or something that's maybe an Iglesias of Atlanta. He's getting up there in age. Maybe you give him a 1 year, 2 years at the max. But giving a reliever or anything like 4 or 5 years is probably not smart. So I just think this is going to have to be a really busy off season. It's going to have to be something that the Giants actually have a plan to, a blueprint to follow. And it'll be very interesting. Will not shock me if a guy like Casey Schmidt gets dealt, or even a Ramos. Wouldn't shock me. We'll see. I mean, you're going to have to find contact hitters. I personally like Elliot Ramos. I think he had a rough year in the field in the base pass, but I think he's very committed to he's played 151 games in left field this year. I think Ramos is a guy that he's so young, he might just still be blossoming. And, he's a guy that you don't know. I mean, Teoscar Hernandez was kind of up and down, and you had some good years, but then we saw what he's done with the Dodgers. What happens if you get a couple of more guys hitting around Ramos, and all of a sudden this guy becomes a 30 home run hitter and, hits you 260 plus and drives in maybe 190 to 100 runs. Guys he's capable of that. He just has to have guys around him.
Sure. I mean, he hit 22 last year in just 121 games. So he was on pace last year. Maybe this is a down year for him, and there's more upside,
Yeah, I wouldn't give up on him unless I had now if you said straight up Ramos for Stephen Kwan, and you're looking at your team and saying we got to make changes where we are not all swing and miss guys, boom or bust guys. And then you look at it and go, well, we'd love to do it with Chapman for Kwan, but Cleveland's not going to do that. We'd love to do Adames maybe for Kwan or Jung-hoo Lee for Kwan. They're not going to do that. They're going to want a young player who's still arbitration eligible for a few more years and that has talent. So I think Ramos would be the only guy, plus somebody else. Kwan's more expensive than just Ramos. But that's what the Giants need. They need a couple of guys like a Kwan. Now let me ask you guys this. Ha-Seong Kim, who's now with the Atlanta Braves, and we knew of him of a San Diego Padres. He was hurt his shoulder, had off-season surgery. Came back, Tampa Bay, middle of the season, didn't have too much going for him, got hurt a couple times, went on the IL. But lately, Atlanta picked him up about a month ago, and he's been playing really well the last month. Would you look at a Ha-Seong Kim? He's got a $16 million player option. If he opts out of that, he's going to expect more. So would you look at a Ha-Seong Kim to play shortstop and move Adames to second, or Ha-Seong Kim for second? And then what do you guys think?
I personally am not a huge fan of him. I mean, he has a high batting average, which is great this year, but I don't know. I think there's maybe better options if we're going to go out and get somebody.
Rather have Wendell Kim. Yeah, I think Ha-Seong would be too expensive. Yeah, I think he'd be too expensive.
Another horrible third base coach.
And then, we'll see where this thing goes. Now, guys, we're talking a little bit about next year. Jung-hoo Lee will be in his third year of a 6-year contract, and he can opt out after the fourth year. Let me ask you this. Would you guys like to see Jung-hoo Lee opt out or opt in? That's a question for the chat. It's a thinking question. Let's see what the chat says. Jung-hoo Lee, just give me a opt in or opt out in 2 years. What's your hope? Do you want him to opt in or opt out?
It's a great question.
And I'm waiting for some answers in the chat. I haven't seen any yet come in. I see Jill says, I like Lee. Johnny Chisari, he's got it. Well, if he opts out, means he balled out. Rather see him traded, Louis says. Opt out, Epicura Kua. Lee is, if he opts in, he knows he isn't performing. Exactly, Johnny. You got it. That was the quiz. Pop quiz. You got it. If you want Jung-hoo Lee to opt in, that means he's not doing well. He's taking his $19 million. So I think he might be a trade candidate personally. I just don't know if anybody wants that contract.
No, not right now. He'd have to play another year. So it's after, not next year, but the year after that? or is it after next year is the opt-out?
After next year. He's got 2 years. So you want to see him get good. You want to see him have a really good year next year and a really follow it up with even a better year. Because tell you what, this is a huge problem. If Jung-hoo Lee has the type of year the next 2 years that he had this year, you're stuck with him for 4 more years, or I should say 3 more years after next year. This guy has to put it together and become what they signed him for. Otherwise, he's just, I don't think he's that great of a center fielder. He's okay, but he's not the greatest. I actually saw something recently that he was 19th or 18th in run differential or defensive runs saved and there's 19 center fielders that have qualified. So 19 center fielders that qualified for the position. He was 18th.
Do you think that he used to be a good center fielder and he's dialed it back after the injury because he doesn't want to risk getting injured again?
Yeah,
because it seemed like last year in that month or two he played, he seemed like reckless. He was a great center fielder.
Yeah, he would go into the wall, leap, and now he's a little passive. I get it.
Yeah.
He should be. You can avoid that. You know how you avoid that? Stick him in right field.
Mm-hmm.
Go find yourself a center fielder. Is that Gilbert? Don't know. Gilbert, to me, McRae's your best. McRae's your best defensive center fielder, but he can't hit.
These are all guys that are not difference makers.
Right.
Lee is a bust. Okay. I don't care if it's really his only year. For what we're paying him, what we expected, another huge disappointment. I don't want him 2 more years. I mean, you guys, I mean, like I keep saying, I think we need a whole new outfield. You know, I'd rather have Ramos just pinch hit. These Giants got to do something, make a difference.
Pinch hit or DH?
I mean, DH. Yeah, or both. You know, I just think it's got to the point now where we're settling for average at best, and that's what we're getting. The Giants got to get a sack and get rid of some of these crumbs instead of just bringing them back. You know, we're stuck with 4 huge contracts no matter what. Nothing we can do. And most likely, with Buster in charge and the Giants, we're going to have the exact same team, except maybe 1 or 2 mystery guys that will not be difference makers. And we're going to go to opening day with the same thing. Our total will be 81. We're predicted to finish 3rd or 4th. And let me tell you something.
80 and a half again. So
and let me tell you something. Arizona will probably, since they gave away 2 of their best players, they have money. They're going to go after people. San Diego, we were also, you know, with the brothers and ownership fighting over each other. Padres aren't going to be good. Padres are the 2nd best team again. You know, when they have that general manager, he'll do whatever it takes to win. So I think we're stuck. And I think it's gotten to the point now where, you know, this is going to be 3 or 4 of the same years, same excuses, same everything. I mean, last year you got Kratman saying, "Oh, I know people." Stop lying. Stop lying to the public. We know what reality is. I just think some of these players don't. I don't think some of these fans don't. You know, it's been 10 years. We've had, again, 1 winning season in the last 10. This team needs a major, beside Buster and our GM, we need a whole new, I mean, we need so much, it's ridiculous. Get rid of Melvin. Get rid of Matt Williams. Get rid of Pat the Bat. The whole entire year, the chat has been saying, I don't want Pat Burrell back. I don't want Melvin back. I don't want Matt Williams. Well, then get rid of them. Instead of just talking, we need to do stuff and make a difference.
Good point, Lou. Very good point. And it's something's got to change. But will it? Like we see up there on the screen, This is your typical smoke and mirrors that Larry Bear. I was a season ticket holder. I got the annual end of the season letter. This is pretty much it. Hey, fans, it's your pal Larry Bear. This season didn't end well like we wanted, but the light bulbs indicate that the future is bright, notably with guys like Jose Bruno and Andrew Kinzer. I love Larry. Yeah. No, you get a letter from the Giants sending you. I got it for 3 years. It's the same old stuff. And you know what? Larry Bear, I talked to him directly in the press box down in Scottsdale a couple years ago.
This was before or after the restraining order?
Oh, this is after. This was just a couple years ago. You mean his restraining order? Dan. Oh, my. Anyway, yeah, that's a good one. So, he was begging me to ante up for, we need you for season tickets. I said, well, I'll come back when you put a winning team on the field. I said, well, we've got different packages. We've got smaller packages. You don't have to buy a whole season. And I said, well,
you should have asked him, what are they? Tell me. Yeah. Oh, you don't know either, do you?
Yeah.
I just told Pinocchio.
Him, you know what I told him? I said, I got stuck with so many tickets in the 22 season. I could not even sell them because you guys were underselling me. You were putting all these specials out, and I paid, for your, what do they call that? The dynamic pricing.
Yeah, you got screwed. And you paid $70 and the tickets were $40 to the average show.
Then during the biggest weekend series that I was going to sell and make a bunch of money, StubHub went down. Do you remember that, Lou? They were playing the Dodgers and StubHub
went down. It went down. Yeah.
And I could not sell my tickets. And what did the Giants say? Oh, well, we'll offer you a couple.
Yeah, here's a couple of free dogs. Get out of my face. That's what they said.
It was like, yeah. So I just said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So Philip Coppola says, I would love if Chapman had a lifetime average of 261 like Brandon Belt. Was there some Brandon Belt talk going on in here? Lou, if you can't.
I didn't see anything Brandon Belt. I think he just, Brandon Belt was an average 260 hitter. He just wishes Chapman could actually hit 260. That would mean he actually hit in the clutch, but that'll never happen.
That's true. He doesn't care as long as the money keeps rolling, and that's what these guys are all about. Is look, the money's rolling in. They got 3 million fans. Their revenue will show that they are making, money again. At some point, the Giants got to look at this and go, this is really bad. When's the last time, besides, 2016, you made the playoffs? This is, let's see, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 9 years, and you've made the playoffs once. And it was a fluke year. Everything just went completely right. But they have not won a playoff series in 11 years. Since 2014 when they won it all. They have not won a playoff series. They've been in the playoffs twice and haven't advanced. And this is, look at every large market, and it's probably, if you look at LA, New York, Chicago, maybe the White Sox is worse. Yeah, probably the White Sox is the only worse large market team. And I'm not even sure if the White Sox are considered really large market. Aren't they kind of like the A's to the Giants? Like the Whites to the Cubs?
And Dan, yeah, I think you bring up a great point. And you talked about 3 million here. I'm just going to read who they're playing next on the weekends next year. and you tell me how they're going to draw. Okay. Okay. Again, forget the Yankees. That's opening, but you have the Mets, the Marlins, the Pirates.
Don't they
the
open
White
it with the
Sox.
Yankees opening
Yeah.
day?
Yeah.
You said the Mets. Did you mean the
No,
Yankees?
no. I'm saying regardless of the Yankees, these are all weekend series.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So these are the weekends because you remember most of the times the Giants get people Friday night like 30,000, and they've been selling out Saturday, Sunday. So these are the weekend series next year. All right. So we'll go the Mets, the Marlins. You know the Marlins aren't going to draw. Okay. The Pirates, the White Sox, the Cubs, the Braves, the Rockies, the Angels, Detroit Tigers, the Rockies, the Diamondbacks, the Padres, and then the final 3 games of the season are the Dodgers. They're going to have a giveaway.
I think we got 3 thumbs ups there.
Yeah, so 3 out of 13 weekends.
We had the Mets. The Tigers are iffy. They're kind of in between. They could be good draw or not.
Then the Pirates.
No, that's a horrible draw. The Rockies twice. You get the Rockies twice.
Yeah, the White Sox. Oh my gosh,
the White Sox. Is this a punishment schedule next year for?
I mean, I'm just looking in May. They have the Padres on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the Pirates on the weekend. Then they have the White Sox on the weekend. Then they have the Diamondbacks. They'll be lucky to draw 100,000.
Are they intentionally doing this so that the weekends are going to sell well anyway, and so they're getting some good teams during the week?
No, this year they had all the good teams on the week. Every series this weekend, except Colorado at the end, were all very high leverage. They had the Dodgers twice, which is unheard of. They had Boston. They had New York. I mean, they got spoiled. But I mean, look at August. Same thing. Look at this home schedule, and you tell me how they're going to draw people. This is in August. They have a weekend series against the Tigers. Then they play 3 games against Houston.
Yep. Then they got Colorado.
Then they got Colorado for 3. And then they go on the road. Then they come back for 3 against the Reds and 4 against the Diamondbacks.
Right.
I mean, this is during the summer. They're going to have a giveaway every single day.
3 words for you. Drew Gilbert bobblehead.
Every day?
Different ones, like one of them pulling down the teammate's pants.
One of them chewing the shoulder.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just telling you.
How about the July? It's even worse. The middle of summer. They've got Toronto Monday through Wednesday on the 6th through the 8th, and then they got the Rockies coming in for 4. Then it's the All-Star break, and they go on the road, and they come home after a week on the road for the Angels on the weekend, and then Milwaukee for Monday through. No, there's nobody going to show up that Monday through Wednesday. And the Rockies, I mean, what kind of draw is that? You got the Rockies twice in the same year on weekends. You couldn't get, and you got the Dodgers the end of the season.
That could mean nothing.
And you got the Dodgers in the middle of the week in April of all times. April, when they might not even sell out for the Dodgers in April because kids are in school. The season's so young, people aren't into it yet. Wow.
Philip, that'd be too expensive. Sorry about that, buddy. Be too expensive.
That's a rough home schedule as far as for the fans. I mean,
the licensing rights to use his likeness is exorbitant.
Yeah. What they'd have to do is they're probably going to have 3 fireworks, shows. They're probably going to have concerts on the weekend. They're going to have to do something because, you're getting the Rockies twice on the weekend. And, who knows if the Rockies are going to be as bad as this year, but they're probably going to be bad. And, you're just not getting the big teams. I mean, Detroit, it's just some of these homestands. I mean, there'll be months where they will not get 20,000 people out there. You do a home, they won't get 200,000 on some of these homestands. They're just, why?
Yeah.
Bad teams.
And the Yankees, what the heck is this schedule? all about? Is this like school? They keep moving
No.
the stinking. They're starting March 25th
Yeah.
on a
And then
Wednesday.
they
then
don't
they
play
gotta-
what on the Friday, or no, they're off Thursday. They play
they're off
Friday
Thursday,
and
then they
Sunday.
play Friday and Saturday, and
Yeah,
they're
off on Sunday.
on opening day weekend. That's a weird schedule.
Yeah, usually the first game of the season. And by the way, I assume you guys heard the Giants game will not be on regular television. It's going to be on Netflix.
Oh,
On the
opening
first
day.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan, others brought up what thoughts on Melvin's staff changes. I've talked about it for several times on this show, but I'll say it again. They got to make wholesale changes to the coaching staff. In my opinion, if Melvin comes back, he's not coming back with anything close to the staff he has now. He might keep the pitching coach, and they'll keep the Buster's college roommate, or what was his name? Can't remember his name now. Who is it?
Mark Hallberg.
Hallberg. Yeah. I think that's about the only retention on the staff will be Hallberg and the pitching coach. Maybe somebody we don't even know that is a coach hangs around, but your main guys, your batting instructors will go. I think Matt Williams will end up going just to bring in new, fresh faces, new energy. But I think it's going to be an interesting call what Buster does. I'd put it right now. I think you can flip a coin. I think you can flip a coin, but we'll see. Hiroku says the Giants were 7th in attendance this year. Interesting. Hey, Dodgers drew over 4 million. Before we get to the players of the game, guys, I think what we should do is go around, since we're at the final weeks of baseball, final days, I mean. Here we got 2 games left to go. Let's just pull up some scores of importance. We'll give you the scores of games that matter and then the ones that who gives a crap. Okay, Cubs win 12-1, which is important for home field advantage for the Cubs against the Padres. They're going to face each other. The question is it in Chicago or is it in San Diego? The Cubs' magic number now is 1, as the Padres, let me just check. I think the Padres did win tonight. Yes. Okay, so it looks like 1 win or 1 loss by the Padres. 1 Cubs win or 1 Padres loss. They play in Chicago. White Sox, Nationals, who cares? Twins, Phillies. Phillies have a shot still at the home field advantage throughout the National League, but the Brewers hold the tiebreaker. The Brewers lost tonight. Phillies won. Magic number for Milwaukee is 1. 1 Phillies loss, 1 Brewers win, but the Brewers are playing the Reds, which is very interesting. Yankees win. They remain tied with the Blue Jays. As you see, the Blue Jays won. So they're both got the same record, but if you look at the hats behind me there, the Blue Jays own the tiebreaker by virtue of winning the season series. So 2 games to go. Very interesting. Here's another big game. Red Sox clinch a playoff berth with a win. Tigers lose again. And Cleveland lost. So they are dead tied record-wise, but Cleveland owns the tiebreaker. So this is really interesting what's going on. The Mets lost and the Reds won. We'll get to the Reds score here in a minute. The Mets lost. They're tied with the Reds for the identical record, but the Reds have the tiebreaker.
Marlins 8-1 against the Mets in the last 9 times.
Wow. Cleveland, as I mentioned, lost, and they remain tied. Braves, Pirates, it's a who cares game. Reds, Brewers, I mentioned that. Reds have the same record, 82-78. Look at that. That's pathetic. If the Giants had just won a few more games, they would be owning the 3rd wild card. That 1-15 stretch at home. Imagine if they just won 4 more games at home. 4 more games at home. So the Reds win. There's a big one. Astros lose to the Angels. What that means is the Astros are 1 game behind the Guardians and the Tigers, but they lose the tiebreaker to both the Tigers and Cleveland. So what that means is Houston has to go 2-0 against Anaheim or California or whatever they're called now. The LA Angels have to beat the Angels twice, and either Detroit or Cleveland have to lose 2 in a row. It looks like Houston's reign of making the playoffs could be over. All right, so that is a big deal there. And then the Diamondbacks lose. They are 2 back. They're 80-80, and you've got the Reds, I believe they're 82-78. Yeah. So it looks like the Diamondbacks, without a miracle, I think the Diamondbacks, the only way they can get in is both those teams need to go 0-2. The Mets and the Reds and the Diamondbacks have to go 2-0. And I don't even know if that gets them in a 3-way tie. And then the Dodgers-Mariners, that was a good game. Really, Mariners losing affects them not getting the number 1 seed, but they are locked into the 2 seed. They will get a bye. Royals, A's, who cares? Giants, Rockies, another who cares game. So there we go. We got the who cares games. And
hey, guys, before we leave, I just wanted to ask you because, a lot of people have been talking about MVP in the American League.
Yeah.
Between Judge and, of course, the Bopper. Who do you guys think should get MVP in the American League, and
That's
why?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Aaron Judge has had a phenomenal season. Like he's got 51, 52 homers, somewhere in that neighborhood. But he missed a stretch with a elbow issue, but his OPS is out of this world. It's like 11 something or whatever. It's nuts. But that being said, Cal Raleigh hitting 60 homers as a switch hitter, catching 120 games so far this season and DHing much of the rest, and taking Seattle to a division title, and just having that year of 60 homers for a catcher and a switch hitter, breaking Mickey Mantle's record as a switch hitter for home runs, tying Babe Ruth, excuse me. He's 3 away from breaking Aaron Judge's record, American League. I think Raleigh has to get it. That's my opinion.
Now, I have a question. Are the votes in for that already? Do they have to have them in by a certain point in time? Or does voting still happen all the way up to the end of the season?
I believe it's to the last game of the season. Playoffs mean nothing.
Because he's starting to get into this 61 number, which is kind of hallowed ground in baseball history. And that just kind of jumps off the page when you see that. And he's, kind of finishing out the season hot, I think. So I think that kind of weighs into it too. So if I'm voting where I think it's going to go, I think Cal Raleigh is
all right, so I have a question, and then I'll tell you who I think and why. If the Bopper wasn't a catcher, would he even be considered? If, say, he was a second baseman or a shortstop,
he'd be considered. If he was a second baseman, yes. But if as a catcher, it does add points to him for sure. I think that could be the difference between Judge and him.
Well, when you get to both teams, who's got a better record and who won the division? Shouldn't you get something a little bit extra? I mean, I know the New York East Coast bias is sort of ridiculous, but
yes.
He has a team that won the division. The Yankees still haven't won the division. So
yeah,
that's why I think the Bopper deserves it.
Look at that. And catching a staff with an excellent ERA, another good point. Seattle's got.
And by the way, they had a good at the trade deadline, they did pick up people. That's what happens when you go for it. I just wanted to make sure you guys know that.
Yeah. All right, there we go. 3 for 3 on that. So let's go for our player of the game and let's get out of here. Players of the game start with, let's go bottom counterclockwise. So Dallas to Lou to me.
All right. We're all going all three?
Sure, we'll take 3. Why not? It's kind of like we do the hockey thing around here, the stars of the game, and that way we get more stars that actually are not stars. See how we do that here? We make stars out of nothing.
Yeah. Okay. So my number 3, I'm going to go with Willie Adames.
Okay.
Lou's favorite player and Willie Mack Award winner. Number 29. I hope he gets it. I hope he gets 30. I want to get this monkey off our back. So
how about instead of 30, just bat 230? He's batting 226. Is that possible? Right,
no,
go ahead.
it's
I'm
not.
sorry.
230's out of the question. Isn't that
All
pitiful?
Right. There you go.
My number 2, I'm going to go with MacDonald. 7 innings, 5 hits, no walks. I love that no walks. If I could see a 0 there, 7 innings and no walks, I don't even care if you gave up 4 runs, 6 runs, whatever. You get it, because that's solid. I mean, sometimes you make a mistake, someone hits one out, whatever, you're going to give up some runs, but 7 innings, that's and he pitched great the last game of last season too. So maybe they should try to get him in, a little bit earlier in the year. They did on the radio talk a lot tonight about how he had some really bad games in Sacramento. He was playing in somewhere in Texas and gave up a bunch of home runs, and then he just had to shelf his shit can his 4-seam fastball, and he's not throwing it anymore, and just relying on that slider that he's got. And that seems to have served him well. So, but yeah, McDonald, great job. And number 1, Mr. Ramos, 3 RBIs. Heck,
you didn't get Chapman in there. Willie and Chapman, the K kids. You got Willie. You didn't get the K kid brother.
Nope.
Okay.
I left him for you.
Oh, thanks.
So there's my 3.
I'm gonna have slim pickings.
So my number 3 start, since he only can beat a lousy team like Colorado, is Ryan Walker to get the big save today. He actually got through the 9th with 2 Ks, so he's my number 3 star. My number
against
2
the Rockies,
of course. Well, that's all he could do. My number 2 star is our center fielder that everyone loves except Dan, Mr. Jung-hoo Lee, with 3 hits on the day.
I'm okay with Jung-hoo. I'm okay with Jung-hoo. I don't think he's that great though, but he's
and then my star has got to be McDonald. He took the powerful Colorado Rockies and said, "Hey, I'm in charge." He only had the one bad inning where he got lucky, where one of the Colorado guys tried to swing at a ball about 3 feet outside. Except for the 3-run homer he gave up, he was in total control, and that's really all you want as a starting pitcher. He was in a good flow. He gave the Giants a chance to win, and he got the W. And I don't know if you know, that was his first W because our great bullpen screwed his last game up when he pitched so well. So first one in the season. So he's my number 1 star.
All right, so I'm going to have to find 3 different guys. McDonald got chosen twice. I could pick him. He's the obvious choice for me. But how about if we go with, you know what? I'm going to give you a one out of left field here. And he actually played a little left field tonight. I'm going to go Grant McCray. Why? He had 2 at-bats and 2 walks. So he did not strike out in 4 plate appearances tonight. And he got a run.
Where's the stolen base at, though?
Yeah, I didn't see that. But at least he didn't strike out. That's I'm going to go my second pick. I'll go Rafi Devers. No. Let me go with Peguero. He pitched an inning, 14 pitches, 8 strikes, didn't walk a guy. I think he didn't walk a guy, did he?
No, he did not.
Okay, good.
1K.
Whole pitching staff. No walks for whole pitching
Yeah,
staff.
that's right. So I'm going to give Devers my number 1 star tonight. Why? He was 1 for 2. He hit a double off the right field wall, which was interesting because it was much lower than the moonshot he hit into the bay the other night. And this one looked like it might get out, but it didn't have enough to it, and so it landed low on the wall. And then he walked 3 times. He didn't strike out tonight, which he's been doing at a pretty high clip. So Rafi Devers with a double and 3 walks. There you go. Just to be different, get 3 different guys.
The Giants staff did not walk anybody tonight.
That's awesome.
And then the Giants lineup only struck out 4 times. What is this game?
How about we give it to the coaches? Let's give it up to the pitching coach and Pat Burrell. We got any clapping?
Good job.
Do we have a clap crowd thing?
Oh, we sure do. Yeah, we do.
Yeah. This is for, yes. Yeah, pitching coach and hitting coach for the Giants. There we go. All right. There we go. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. We'll do it again tomorrow night, even though the Giants play a day game. We will not be on during the afternoon. We'll come back to you tomorrow night. Be a quick show tomorrow. And then Sunday will be a wrap. So tomorrow night we'll kind of give you what's happening with the around baseball, because there's some very interesting races going on. So who's going to get the division title? I think if Cleveland wins tomorrow and Detroit loses, yeah, they're in. They win it automatically. So if they end up in a tie, it goes to Cleveland. So Detroit choked again tonight. They have been on a free fall, and they're probably still going to make the playoffs because Houston has choked the last week too. So thanks for being with us, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Let me stop that music and let's get that goodbye in there again. I messed up. There we go, guys. Give us another goodbye.
Goodbye.
Do we have one? We didn't get a wet ball tonight, though, did we?
Goodbye.
All right.
That one is